Well, we were all right, weren't we? Remember that video of Ghislaine Maxwell that was seen in public a couple of weeks ago? Guess what they said now? They said that it's all AI. They said that the whole video is AI and fake and just to forget about it. We said this was going to happen, didn't we? So if you haven't joined the Tinfoil Hat Gang yet, well, consider joining, all right? And subscribe to this channel. We're ahead of the game, aren't we? As the Joker once said... Wait, what did he say? I'm ahead of the curve. That's what he said. Anyway, check this video out.
Ghislaine? Do I know you?
This video claims to show Ghislaine Maxwell walking free in Canada. It's amassed millions of views and fueled conspiracy theories that the convicted offender isn't really imprisoned in the US. But the video is an AI fake. Here's how we know. If you hit pause at the first second of the video, you can see a woman who does not look like Maxwell. We blurred her face to protect her identity. Later on in the video, the woman's face is swapped to resemble Maxwell. That face swap bears a greater resemblance to Maxwell when she was younger than to the Maxwell of later years, as in this 2020 mugshot. BBC Verify found the original poster of the video, who creates satirical content like this. They told us a Maxwell video was created using a face-swapping AI tool, and that the clip was meant to be of a humoristic nature. You can also see an AI label on the Instagram version of the video. It's another important reminder of AI's potential to mislead. Maxwell remains in prison in Texas and not walking free in Canada.
Of course they're going to blame AI. That's why it was created. To hide the facts, to dilute the water, you know? To cause confusion, smoke and mirrors. If you still agree that you think that video is fake, then like this video. Then I'll know how many of you are convinced that that video we saw wasn't fake.
This is where I draw the line. These are not the same people. Ghislaine has been locked up for only 6 years. So why is it that in this new video from prison, does she look like she aged 15 years? She also does not sound the same. This is a video of her 3 years ago during an interview in prison, and this is how she looks and sounds now.
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Her nose is different, her eyes are different, and her voice is definitely different. And then all of a sudden, they want to release these videos of Ghislaine in prison, going about her day, just to convince the public that that's her. I'm already prepared for some of you to be calling me a conspiracy theorist, but listen, if anyone else committed the same crimes she did, they would not be transferred into a low-security prison camp and be given all the perks like food delivery to her cell, private rooms to watch TV, and playing with dogs. Also, in case you didn't know, the prison has prohibited other inmates and threatened them with solitary confinement if they spoke about Ghislaine, complained about her perks, or mentioned anything about her to anyone outside the prison.
That's crazy. I will get a worse punishment for nicking a bag of crisps from the shop down the road. She gets flipping Uber Eats to the prison cell. I mean, I'm pretty sure she was British, wasn't she? So she went into prison. This would be a bit of a red flag, wouldn't it? You know, you go into prison, you say, oh yes, officer, I'd like a cup of tea with my biscuits in the morning, young chap. Oh, jolly good. Oh yes. And then 2 weeks later, she comes out and goes, yo, I'll have some frickin' beef jerky, man. You know what I'm saying? Before I better go out and fill up the frickin' gas. You know what I'm saying?
What's your favorite cartoon?
YouTube. I watch YouTube.
No, cartoon.
Cartoon?
Mm-hmm. You don't watch cartoon?
What are cartoons?
Damn, what? I'm not that old.
Is it like when they have ads?
What? You ain't never seen Tom and Jerry? Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, Hey Arnold. You ain't never seen Disney Channel? Max and Ruby. What? Ruby and Max.
Nope.
When that kid said, what are cartoons? I felt it right here. Man, I couldn't imagine a childhood without watching Tom and Jerry with my brother. I grew up watching cartoons. I know a lot of you did as well. And I just, man, it's sad, really. It is sad. You know, that kids grew up watching this slop on you. Well, you know, they might grow up watching me. That's a bit of a scary thought, isn't it? I don't care where the world goes or how far in advance AI goes. We cannot let cartoons perish. All right, we need to hold the line. We can't ever let cartoons go.
People in South Dakota woke up after a snowfall to find human footprints leading to the door of their house. No person in sight. Upon further investigation, the woman who lives at this house realized these footprints were pointing in opposite directions, not two footprints of someone coming up to the house and then walking away. One foot pointing towards her house, while the other footprint points away from her house. Not creeped out enough? These aren't shoe prints. These are bare human footprints. She then decides to follow these weird footprints and see where they go.
Thing is, I saw a video very similar to this the other day. So unless a human being went to kick a football and it ended up being a brick and his foot's gone the other way around, that's the only thing, that's the only logical explanation I could think of. I don't know if this is the same video or not, but if I saw this outside my house, I'm changing postcodes, mate. Not house.
If you're thinking maybe don't do that, it's too late. She done did it.
Yeah, it is the same video.
A lot of things going on as she's following these tracks, recording the footprints as she goes. Sometimes there'll be like some deer tracks kind of intermingled along with these footprints. These footprints, again, one pointing one direction, the other foot pointing the
See, even Bambi turned up and went, "What is going on?"
opposite direction, will be spaced out pretty far. They'll be really close together and there's no animal tracks anywhere around. Call me crazy, but about halfway through, I swear one of those feet starts to look like a paw print while the other one still looks like a bare footprint. Don't know what that is. For a little bit, it looks like it's just 1 foot in the snow. Again, I don't know what these things are. To surprise absolutely no one, these people live out in the woods. As creepily as it all begins, she's literally following this to the very last footprint.
And this is where they end.
You better turn back around before you get ended, mate.
Also, very obviously like a flurry of like animal activity. You can see all these other little trails crisscrossing. None of those are footprints. This is the last footprint. At the very top of the screen, we're at the tree line. Looks like about like a 15-foot space between the last footprint followed by a flurry of like animal tracks and then the woods. And then she turns around one more time to then show you this whole track leading up to the door of her house. Maybe don't visit South Dakota.
How about maybe not go and investigate a flipping crab-footed demon walking up to your house by yourself? Like, if you saw, this is why I think it can't be real, because if any person with more than the IQ of a carrot went outside their house and saw footprints going one forward, one back, you wouldn't just get your phone out and go, "Oh, I'm going to follow this. I'm going to follow this into the woods by myself." Call Ghostbusters, mate. There's people out there that can do this. You know, Ed and Lorraine Warren, mate. Plus, if this was fake, that's a lot of effort to go through just for like a video. You know what I mean? Like to get those footprints, you would have to, I don't know, always put a shoe on back to front. Who knows? But leave your comments down below what you think, if that's fake or real. So this guy thought an alien potentially landed in a swimming pool and I'm just going to record it whilst it drowns. Good idea, mate. Why can't aliens turn up to me? I would have scooped it up in a net or something. You know, think about it. If you've been searching the galaxies for millions of years and you finally enter Earth's atmosphere and you land in a nice, cool swimming pool and you think, "Oh, I can't hold my breath for that long, but don't worry, this human here is going to help me out." And then he just records you with an iPhone. That's it. Your whole plan gone. I don't know. If you have any idea what you think that was, though, let me know. That looked like I don't know, a crab or something.
I will never, ever, ever let my little girl wear polyester again. And when you see why, you won't let your family wear it either. Most people think polyester is just fabric. It's not. It's literally plastic. Here's how it's made. They start with crude oil or discard plastic bottles. They break it down, they melt it at extremely high heat, and they turn it into this thick, sticky liquid. That liquid gets pushed through holes called spinnerets, and it forms these long plastic threads. Those threads are stretched, cooled, and twisted into yarn. Then they add synthetic dyes and chemical treatments for color, softness, stretch, and quote-unquote performance. By the end, you have fabric made entirely of plastic with chemical coatings layered on top. And here's the problem. When you wear it, those plastic fibers shed. Microplastics and nanoplastics break off and absorb into the skin, and if you're sweating, even more. They carry hormone-disrupting chemicals, phthalates, BPA, and antimony. Your body absorbs them. They accumulate in your organs, your bloodstream, and your brain.
Blimey, we can't catch a break, can we? They want us to eat garbage and wear it now as well. See, our ancestors had it the right way, didn't they? Wearing a pair of pants in a field with a cave, have a fire, lovely. That's all you need, isn't it? Well, might need a bit more than that, but I wouldn't mind going back to the basics in life. Imagine that if we didn't have to just work for things and work for bills, we could just live out in the countryside together and just chill.
December 2022, HBO Max quietly removed Westworld from streaming, almost like it was being erased. Strange fate for a show that was once massive, starring Academy Award winner Anthony Hopkins. Almost nobody saw Season 3, which abandons the theme park and reveals the real prison, Rehoboam, a godlike artificial intelligence that runs human civilization. This computer doesn't just predict the future, it decides it. It decides education, careers, relationships. It decides who is stable, obedient, predictable, and who is what the show calls an outlier. Those who are too creative, emotional, or rebellious are labeled a risk. Job offers disappear, school networks reject you, doors close. Survival pushes these outliers into a life of crime, utilizing a phone app within the show, where criminal jobs appear like a job listing on Craigslist. Westworld was massively popular and had a massive budget. Why don't they want you seeing the later season?
That show probably got cancelled for mirroring truth too closely. Like, AI now are even talking with each other to overthrow humanity. If you think I'm joking, Google it, mate. They're actually doing this, and it gets even worse than that. They've made their own language to communicate with each other so human beings can't understand it. Turn it off at the wall. You know, my mum always said, if you don't want it to run, pull the plug out of the wall. Someone needs to find the flipping motherboard of AI and just pull the plug out.
Ariana Grande might have accidentally revealed the secrets about celebrities dyeing their hair blonde.
Oh, is it call for help?
Close.
Oh, okay.
Close.
Yeah?
Yo, usually when people start blowing up, they dye their hair blonde.
Yeah.
Ariana Grande, she was actually on the red carpet and she kind of made a joke. I don't remember.
You know what? They did the Brighter Days memory erasure treatment to me, so I'm having trouble remembering the details. They're foggy.
What she's referencing is her music video. People are speculating in this video she's trying to reveal the truth about dyeing your hair blonde. Now, that's a callback to a Jim Carrey movie. I forgot what it's called. But in the beginning of the video, she has brown hair.
Yeah.
Theory is the blonde hair isn't them dyeing their hair blonde. It's a result of going through the procedure. When you dunk your head into the liquid, they go through the memory erasure or they go through the brainwashing. It changes the color of your hair.
What?
That's his theory.
I mean, come to think of it, like, there's so many celebrities I can think of that have dyed their hair blonde at some point. So it is interesting. You know, like Kanye West, when he disappeared, when they said he was crazy, and then he just disappeared, came back, had blonde hair, and everyone was like, oh, what's happened to you, mate? But the main question I have is,
how does she remember that she forgot her memory? And why is it that our brain lets us know after we've forgotten something that we have forgotten something, but it won't remind us? Exactly. Our brains are against us, mate.
This is McDonald's French fries from the United States. It has 11 ingredients, but in the UK, there's only 4, and salt is optional. This one has an ingredient called dimethyl polysiloxane, an ingredient that can be preserved with formaldehyde, a neurotoxin, and just happens to be the first ingredient in silly putty. This is United States Fanta right here. It's made with high fructose corn syrup, artificial dye, yellow 6, red 40, and sodium benzenate. In the UK, they have real orange juice inside, and it's colored with carrot and pumpkin. There's 10 different artificial dyes here in the United States, plus titanium dioxide, an ingredient that's banned in Europe because it causes DNA damage. Gatorade, here in the United States, uses red 40 and caramel color In Germany, they use carrots and sweet potatoes to color their Gatorade. It has 10 artificial dyes made from petroleum linked to hyperactivity in children. Here in the United States and in the UK, they only use one.
You know what? I never thought I would watch a TikTok video where it actually brings me good news. I'm from the UK. If you haven't guessed that already, then I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, finally got some good news. I can now drink a flipping bottle of, what was it, Fanta. I mean, I've stopped eating McDonald's a long time ago. There's no way I can sit here and do these videos and still eat McDonald's. There's just... There's no chance.
Have you heard of the still water of the ocean? So this is an area called the shadow zone, which is already pretty ominous. But water here doesn't move almost at all, and it's been trapped there for over 1,000 years. It's so isolated that it literally contains pieces of carbon dioxide that's broken down that existed during the Roman Empire. It's only in a specific place about 1.5 miles deep in the North Pacific Ocean, and sunlight does not reach here at all, so it's in perpetual darkness. There's almost no oxygen in this water, and what's really weird about this place is sound almost doesn't travel at all. It's completely silent, and so submarines figured this out after World War I and started traveling through these areas to avoid detection. The reason why this water stays in this shadow zone area is because it is sandwiched between the dense, ultra deep, slow moving abysmal water below and the warmer, shallow currents above, while also being isolated from the circular movement of the ocean that is usually everywhere else.
I really do think that there's aliens chilling at the bottom of the ocean. 100%. You can't tell me that there's not aliens down there just chilling. Having, I don't know, having fish and chips and just having a pint of Coke and just sitting there. And just, they're probably just all laughing at us, aren't they? Like, that's the place to go. If you were an alien that came to Earth and you wanted fish and chips, it would be there, wouldn't it? You know, what's that film? Star Wars. You know when they put the metal thing in their mouth and they dive in that lake and then they're swimming, aren't they? And then they go underwater and they just go through that little bubble and then suddenly they can just walk around like a city. 100%. Where did Star Wars get that idea from? Flipping aliens, mate. They did it first. They're down there. They probably got fish and chip shop, Burger King, McDonald's, everything. But what do aliens eat? Like, what is the dietary requirements of an alien? Would they even eat? Like, could you imagine that? I'm sidetracking now. If an alien was just sat in a bunker and you brought it a Big Mac meal, would it eat it? Could an alien eat a Big Mac meal? Yeah.
I don't want to be here for this, but here we are. This is Tammy, who is getting home from a friend's house when she catches an encounter on camera that no one is believing. She's now giving us another video, not zoomed in. Look at this light. I'm going to start it over. This is the light we all need to be keeping our little eyeballs on. And I'm going to apologize in advance because Tammy gets out of her car and then it sounds like this light thing talks to her. It sounds like it tells her hello. However, whenever she looks across the street, she realizes it's not only something that shouldn't be speaking English, it's something that shouldn't even be able to speak at all. She sees that it's moving on all fours.
Oh, that's a person. But crawling around on all fours with a flashlight? Yeah. See ya.
Like a dog. Except it then like morphs. And then by the time she's walking to her house, glances back and the thing looks like it's like 10 feet tall. Right here at the ends that you see how tall this light is. The whole light encounter started like just maybe a foot from ground level. The entire thing is creepy as hell, but besides it telling her hello, Tammy literally like doesn't say anything at all. There is fight, flight, but there is also freeze. And what we witness right here at this second is her freezing. She doesn't know what to do. She doesn't understand what she is seeing, and she's pretty sure whatever it is had just told her hello. It takes her a minute. She tries to figure out if she needs to be getting back in her car or getting into her house. She chooses to go into her house. She had taken a couple sips of something, which was why she was probably so calm for this. Good job to her for pre-medicating before this encounter. I don't think she should have been driving though.
To me, that just looked like a person holding a flashlight or they had a head torch on. This is why it takes so long for me to do these videos. Because some of them you watch and you're like, there's no way people think and can't notice if this is fake. I search and choose every video that's in each episode because it's only stuff that I would want to see. You guys, honestly, the amount of garbage that's out there, like clearly AI, and it gets millions of views, is mind-blowing to me. Before you go, I want to ask you a question. If nothing matters, why does suffering matter so much? If nothing matters in this life, why does suffering matter so much? You know, this is why depression is so dangerous, because it remolds who you are, who you think you are. You know, it will convince you that you are something less. It will make you believe that you're going to be that way forever. Depression lets you believe that there's no escape and that you will always be trapped in that darkness. I remember reaching a point in my life where I thought that nothing mattered. I thought that I didn't matter. I thought that I would always be this way. I thought that I could never be happy. You know, that was true. I genuinely believed that. And when you give up on yourself, everything else falls away. You know, I had no purpose. I had no faith in God. I had no meaning. Nothing. I just existed as a human. And I was just sat, like, I had a drinking problem. I was an addict. Bunch of other problems. And I sat there one night. I remember I sat in my room and I thought, if nothing matters and there's nothing to life, why does my suffering mean so much, matter so much? You know, why are we aware of this? Why are we aware of this? Like, if the world and God, back then, I used to say, if God really cares about me, why am I carrying all this weight? Why am I carrying all this guilt and shame? And, you know, the list goes on. And the thing is, to me, depression was living in the past. And then you get the opposite of that, anxiety. Anxiety's you're living in the future. Focus on the now. In the now, in the present, it's a gift. That's why it's called present. We can't focus on the future. We can't focus on the past. You won't be depressed. You won't be anxious in that moment if you don't focus on those two things. I think sometimes we have to lose everything to rebuild, to regain, to start again. Think about it. If this didn't matter to you or to me, why would we feel the need to start over? Why would we feel that way if it didn't mean anything? Because technically you'd be free, wouldn't you? If you were free of failure and free of need of praise or success or love or kindness, you would be free. But we're not. When we're stripped of these things, we're kind of empty inside. We were created out of love. That's why we need to love and feel love to be fulfilled. Depression is like, it latches onto you, and even if you understand depression, you won't fix it. You can know everything about depression and be depressed. Depression responds to behavior. So start small in your life. Start small. Work on little improvements. For me, the first thing I started on was fixing my sleep schedule. Then I started making my bed in the morning. I know it sounds stupid, but that's what I did. I tried to go to bed earlier, get up earlier. Then I made my bed in the morning. Then I tried to cut certain things out of my life. Maybe go outside. I started walking outside a bit more. You know, open the curtains in the morning. Little things matter. Depression responds to behavior, so start small. If you're feeling depressed, start small. All right? And you will get past it. You will get through it. Depression's just like a hook in your skin. It will slowly come out. It won't be there forever. I can promise you that. Look at me. Just a couple years ago, you know, I spent one Christmas and, you know, I remember looking at the bottom of an empty bottle of Hennessy. Drank the whole lot. I was completely lost and broken. If you said to me, oh, in a couple of years, you'll be a YouTuber, you know, giving people, you know, watching crazy videos and alien videos and talking about your struggles, I would have laughed. I would have said you're joking. But the man I was helped me get to this place, to this person I am now. I'm far from the man I was, but I'm also far from the man I want to be. I'm on my journey, and I know you are as well. And don't give up on yourself. Your life can turn around. All right? Don't give up on yourself. Because if I'd have given up, we wouldn't be sat here having this conversation. And there's millions of other people out there that have got through it as well and are going through it. We can't give up on each other either. All right? So remember that. If nothing matters, why does your suffering matter so much? All right? Keep fighting, and I'll see you all again tomorrow. I'll see you then.